nothing.
Ooh, wait, let me turn this thing down. Just my luck, my phone would ring. Hey, Lawanda. How are you, love? Hello, Uncle. How's it going? How's it going? Oh, this is different for a Saturday. This is very different for a Saturday. So I've been busy trying to keep, you know what, everything that I had last night set up for y'all that didn't get shared ended up gone by this morning. I don't know why. So I had to go back and try to retrieve. Oh, you just got home from the store? What you get? I bet you got a lot to eat. What you fixing for dinner? Man, I was so mad though this morning. I went to set everything up that was still left up on the screen from last night and gone. Gone. I was pissed. Meats and more meats. That's right. Did you get some ribs? Some hamburger meat? Some hot links? Man, I'm down for that. I would be real down for that. So I'm gonna try to do this more often on Saturdays. It might take a minute to pick up. Something going on. I believe it. Something is definitely going on. But I spent a lot of time this morning watching this committee hearing again because I really wanted to just take it in. It was a lot. It was like 5 hours, but oh my good, 5 packages of meat for $20. Oh, Lawanda, where about you live at now? Maybe I ought to hop a flight. That sounds like a good deal. For real, for real. So, of course, I'm going to let people come in here because a lot of us don't, you know, probably don't even remember that I said I was going to go live today. And that's okay. Because right now we got 2 people in the chat. Hi, Fonda. How are you, sweetheart? How are you, sweetie? Really? Is it online? Is her funeral online? Why would YouTube shut you down? That's crazy. If they put that up to be seen by the public, why would YouTube shut that down? That don't make no sense. And nothing surprises me anymore. It really doesn't. Nothing really surprises me at all. Having a great day, Fonda. It's a beautiful Saturday. The sun is shining. The sky is blue. I don't see no clouds out there. Me and we gonna go kick it somewhere. I don't know where. But I said I'm gonna go live first. Oh my goodness, because the girl Holly is supposed to be kin to politicians, and many are mad she got a what? See, they take care of their own. I told you, it ain't even about color sometimes. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's just not about color. It's about status. It's about money. You know, you related to politicians, so you got to end, you know. She did. Oh, see, she's protected. She's definitely protected. She said the right things. I'm sure she was even, because remember, she was on the phone right afterwards. She didn't leave. She was on the phone right afterwards. And I'm sure she was on the phone with somebody that knew what to do. Fonda, I don't know. I don't know. It's just you, me, and Lawanda and Uncle right now. But we good. We good. We good. I'm gonna give people time to come in. Chances are the notifications didn't even go out. You know how YouTube is. But I'm not gonna sit here all day. Hi, Chandra. Hello, sweetheart. How's it going? And don't. I mean, we just been here for what 6, 7 minutes. So I'm sure the trolls will start coming in when they see them hashtags. A lot of people are interested in this topic. A lot of people are interested in this topic. Hello, Retretta. How you doing, my love? And see, a lot of people don't have time to sit and watch this stuff on television or whatever because they've got lives. They go to work, they work all day, they don't want to come home and watch all that stuff. Last night was one of them 1999 toys for real. Man, Fonda, it was a mess. Hi, Dawn. How are you, sweetheart? They put her in a wall. It was beautiful. Oh, horse-drawn carriage with her name on folks' shoes. Oh my God, I'm sorry I missed it. I'm sure I can find it online somewhere though. Man, I'm just surprised that while you were watching they took you down. Dawn she making beef noodle. That's what's up. I sat here and ate a noodle salad last night. Okay, so it's on YouTube. I'm gonna check it out probably after I get back though. Because me and Unc, we got to go out and spend some time together. We so busy doing our own things that we don't get together the way we should. Hi, Faith. How are you, sweetheart? So good to see you. It's good to see all y'all. And share the live. Share the live. I mean, if we want more people to come, we got to share it. So we got to share the live, hit that like button, get it in the algorithm, and they'll come. If you build it, they will come. It's to spend time through the week. And the cool part about it is, we both so busy doing, because life be life, you know, and we both got stuff we got to do for this household, so it takes time. It takes time throughout every day. When I jump on here at night, it's like I'm exhausted, but I feel like I need to, Everyone is doing great here as far as I can tell, Faith. As far as I can tell. Chopping the onions. All right. I love me some beef noodle. I love beef noodle. That sounds so good. Very good. So, oh, you know what? I always forget to put my little music up. Let me put my little music on. This time, let me turn it down first. Too low. Okay. One more try. Okay. Yes, that's how we stay alive, baby. Hello, Bella. How are you? Hello, everyone from the UK. I've got ear pods in, listening in. Wonderful. Well, welcome, Bella. It's good to see you, sweetheart. All the way from the UK. That's wonderful. That's one good thing about YouTube. You can hook up with people all around the world. All around the world. Oh, wait. Yes, Auntie. The store also had purified water. 3 packages for $10. The big thing of Hawaiian punch for 3 for $8. I had to get 10 packages of me. I know that's right. Boy, I live for that Hawaiian punch. The original Hawaiian punch. All them other little Uh, flavors I can take or leave, but that original, that's what's up. Oh, your parents are Italian. Oh, wow, Bella. I got some Italian in me somewhere. Well, of course, it's on my mama's side. No, my grandfather's side. I forgot about that. Okay. See, geriatric. Yeah, so Uncle Barry's outside. He's on, but he's outside doing something on the car. So if he doesn't answer right away, that's because he's just got it on and listening. But he's here. Hello, Sharon. How are you? Wonderful seeing you today. Like I said, this is definitely out of the norm for me to come on a Saturday, because I generally want to keep my time on my Saturdays and Sundays for us, But I didn't get to go over everything from last night, and this is just kind of like a pickup from last night. Sometimes I get so inundated with stuff that I just feel like I got to throw it all up there. I went to the grocery store. That is my least favorite chore. Faith, me too. You know what I do? I get online and order. I ain't walking through that store. I can't no more. It's too much, too big, and I always end up getting more than I intend to. So that's why I order my stuff online, or Uncle will go shopping. Either way it goes, I'm not walking through a grocery store no more. No more. That's one good thing I like about technology. So just get on my iPad, and I want that and that and that. Now for meat, you gotta go. I'm not ordering no meat online. No. So you can go out there and get some good deals on that meat. Yeah, the scooter. But you know what, LaWanda? Every time I go to the store and I need the scooter, if I'm going to be there for a while, they only got 2 in the whole store, and they're already being used. And I'm not going to stand around waiting for somebody to get done using it. So I just don't go. Yeah, I hear you, Faith. I dread it too. The only time I really go is when I need to pick something out that I can't get online without seeing, the quality of it. And that's meat and produce. I remember I ordered a watermelon, and they brought me some mess, but I cut that thing open. It was just awful. It was awful. It was literally mush. Okay, Fonda, cool. Walking distance. Yep. That's a good plan, LaWanda. Go at 8 a.m. when no one's in the store. That's right. Well, I guess some of the trolls decided not to stay, and that's cool too. But the topic, I'm picking up from where I left off last night. And the FBI director, Kash Patel, day 2 of his testimony before the committee, the House committee, talking about Epstein and whatnot. He went under a lot of fire. So I wanted to share some of that footage with you, because this was a 5-hour situation. And not too many people have the luxury of sitting in front of the television or computer or whatever for that long and just watching. But it got pretty heated. So if you get a chance, hit the like button if you haven't already. And and like or not like the video, already like the video, but share the video, share the live, and we'll see what happens. We will see. So there were some pretty tense moments in this hearing. And what I'll do is I'll start out with, let's see, who is this? Jamie Raskin. He's a Democrat from Maryland. He attacked Patel. He got him. Okay, thank you, Fonda. Thank you. During his opening remarks at a hearing on the FBI, accusing the director of sharing unflattering similarities to J. Edgar Hoover, who led the agency for decades. So rather than just talk, I'm just going to jump right into the video. Hold on just a second. You know what? Before I do that, there was something I needed and I couldn't find it. So, but I knew where else to find it. And it was, I didn't really follow Kash Patel very much. But he was, before he was appointed FBI director, he was pretty critical about how things were being handled. And now that he's in the office that he criticized, I guess, kind of flip-flopped, I'd say. Hi, Jay Breezy. Hello, my love. How are you, sweetheart? Good to see you. But this guy, as an FBI director, you would think he'd be more knowledgeable. And there is a little piece from this thing that kind of, it was indicative of, yeah. And from what I understand, maybe I misinterpreted what I heard, but it was my understanding he had never served with the FBI before his appointment. And I'm not sure how that works. Wouldn't you, if you're going to be the director over something, shouldn't you have held a position with them prior? I'm not an expert. Never professed to be. Okay? But it's just, I'm like any other American. I'm watching this from the outside in. So that's a good question, Faith. And I asked myself the same thing. But here we have, I was watching Don Lemon yesterday as well. Shout out to Don Lemon. And this is, I'm just going to play a very short piece. But it was kind of funny to me because it's like, dude, you are the head of the FBI. And, okay, I'll let y'all see this for yourself before I get into the actual everything going on, so to speak. Now, here we have Don Lemon during his show yesterday. And I sped up to where it was located. So, again, I'm going to stop it when it's done. But just let me turn this down. Okay. Check this out. Okay, let me move this over too. Okay.
I need to talk to you guys about Kash Patel's qualifications or lack thereof to be in the position that he's in now. Their definition, not the real definition of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Their definition, he's a DEI hire.
DEI hire.
Now, this moment is shocking. I want you guys to sit and listen. You guys remember, you remember Dylan Roof, right? You remember
Dylan
the
Roof.
church and Mother Emanuel, and you guys remember that, right?
Y'all remember that, right? Dylan Ruth, the one that pow-powed those members and the pastor at Mother Emanuel, South Carolina. Mother Emanuel AME Church, one of the oldest AME churches in the country. Y'all remember that, right? They were having Bible study. The pastor was conducting Bible study, and this young man sat down and had Bible study with them. And he came in, sat down, had Bible study. I think it was for about an hour or so. And out of the blue, he gets up and starts pow-powing. Crazy. And then, cold part about it is that after they arrested him, they took this boy to Burger King. They took this young man to Burger King to get him something to eat after he ended all of those beautiful lives, just sitting in church having Bible study. It's despicable. But check this out.
I just want to make sure that you guys remember this stuff. You guys know? Okay. So this is a question to Kash Patel today. Now, remember, he's the head of the FBI. He's the guy that is in charge of hate crimes, domestic violence, all of this. Okay. I want you to sit back and listen.
Hi, Camille.
He told on himself. Here it is.
Sure did.
So Dylan Ruth, who followed white supremacist propaganda, murdered 9 black parishioners in Charleston in 2015. Do you deny this?
I'm sorry. Dylan Ruth?
Ruth?
Ruth, can you give me some more information?
Did you? He didn't know who she was talking about. He didn't know who she was referring to, even though she spoke in the very beginning of who he was. And this guy was completely oblivious to what she was talking about. I guess it wasn't important enough. This was crazy, but he told on himself, that's for sure.
You're head of the FBI, you probably know this. If you don't know, that's fine.
You can give me a reminder. I've got a lot in front of me.
It was
Give me
national
a reminder.
news.
Oh my effing goodness. This man is head of the FBI, Dylan Ruth. Who? What? She told him in the beginning that what he did in Charleston, 9 people in the church, she said it. And then he goes, who? What?
Like he didn't know nothing about it ever happened. I guess it didn't affect him, so it wasn't necessary to know. God don't like ugly Hummer treader. It was amazing. The head of the FBI, and you're not aware of who this young man or the situation. I can understand if you just don't remember the name, but he was told. This was national news back in 2015. National news back in 2015.
What? What can you imagine? If that was, if that was one of those people who don't have brain processing power. Who doesn't have the brain processing power now? Are you kidding me? And And this is a guy who, and this is, they said, well, it's going to be based on meritocracy. We're going to hire people based on meritocracy. And here he doesn't know one of the biggest modern tragedies, domestic terror, gun violence in modern history. It's not even that old.
No, it's not. It's not that old at all. 10 years. 10 years ago, I remember it vividly. I attend an AME church right here. And when we heard about, matter of fact, the musician that we had at the time was related to one of the victims. So it hit dear. It hit dear to us. That's right, Retretta, just like yesterday. Yep, you're right, Faith. Exactly. If it had been somebody from his neck of the woods. Yeah. But it was just, now you're the head. Now you're the head of the FBI and you don't even know about this national event that took place in an area in which you are tasked to prevent. Hello, Faith. Hello. That's the problem right there. But see, they don't tell everybody that part. They don't tell everybody that part. They just make it look like, oh, we doing all this ourselves. We under other folks' thumb.
This is how you know that it's bullshit. All of it is bullshit. He doesn't know who Dylan Root is after she explained to him. But yet it's the black women that don't have the brain processing power. Who are stealing jobs from qualified white men.
Say that.
We're in a world of trouble. Jasmine Crockett got him good though. Here it is.
Yep, I'll get to that in a minute. Yep, Jasmine got in that ass. Jasmine got in that butt. Matter of fact, let me share this one as well. It was epic, I must say. Hold on a second. And he seems to believe that, black women don't have the brain capacity or processing power to articulate things, and you know what I'm saying. You now stay in South Carolina, and I'm trying to get someone to ride with me to Charleston. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, let me show you what Jasmine had to say. Hold on a second.
Man, oh man, there has been so much today, and I truly don't know where to start. So I'm just going to make sure that we start off with a few facts. So a couple of facts that we need to make clear for everyone is that, number one, Director Christopher Wray, when he was appointed to be the head of the FBI, was appointed by Donald Trump. Now, I will agree that I definitely take issue with a number of decisions that Donald Trump makes, especially when it comes to the people that he decides to appoint to very important positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI.
You hear that? Never served with the FBI. But right now, he's the head of the FBI. Jay Breezy, I knew you was going to come in strong. Yes, she was, wasn't she? I mean, 10 toes down, huh? 10 toes down. Promoting that dude. We got anybody in that case, shoot.
Prior to joining, yet we are supposed to believe that
That's
you are the
false.
greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question.
Cut him
Now,
off.
What
I
I
didn't
want
ask
to
you a
go through
question.
is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got a little upset and you put on your show for your boss because it seems like you're trying to save your job.
She said, we just need to, I'm going to replay that part. You know, sisters always got to go there, right? She just had to go there.
Since sliced bread, I didn't ask you a question.
I didn't ask you a
Now,
question. Shut up, boy. Shut up. Shut up. Let me hear it again.
We are supposed to believe that
That's
you are
false.
the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question.
Sit down.
What I want to go
false.
through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got a little upset and you put on your show for your boss because it seems like you're trying to save your job.
And that's what it's all about. You was complaining before you got the job. Now you got the job and you ain't really doing what you said you were going to do. Because he was all up in arms about the Epstein files and all the things going on with Epstein. And now you're the director. Now what you going to do? Now you done backpedal. Now all of a sudden you can't do this, that, and the third because you can't. Because you just can't. But we supposed to think you the best thing. Since what she said, sliced bread.
When it came to talking to Senator Booker yesterday. But let's go through some of your failures. So before you were even confirmed, and I think one of my colleague from Georgia, pointed out that you were already targeting career officials so that you could direct illegal firings. Mind you, these cases that you were so upset about, which are the ones tied to Trump, the cases came through his handpicked FBI director with a few facts.
I'm sorry.
When he was appointed to be the head of the FBI, was appointed by Donald Trump. Now, I will agree that I definitely take issue with a number of decisions that Donald Trump makes, especially when it comes to the people that he decides to appoint to very important positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior
that
to
too,
joining. Yet we are supposed to believe that
That's
you are
false.
the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question.
I love that part. I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Retrita said bad news. When he was appointed, I said, where the heck did he come from? My point, he's been proven. Looking at that, I said, yum. I didn't really mean to skip back that far, but I'm kind of glad I did because I like hearing this part.
Now, what I want to go
false.
through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know
need
that
to
you
tell
got a
you
little
bye-bye.
upset and you put on your show for your boss because it seems like you're trying to save your job when it came to talking to Senator Booker yesterday. But let's go through some of your failures. So before you were even confirmed, and I think one of my colleague from Georgia, pointed out that you were already targeting
Exactly,
career
Jay
officials
Breezy.
so that you could direct illegal firings. Mind you,
Illegal firing.
these cases that you were so upset about, which are the ones tied to Trump, the cases came through his handpicked FBI director. And frankly, when people sit around and say things like, oh, you know, we're happy because now we feel safe. I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists, because I specifically as a Black woman definitely don't feel safe.
Do y'all Black women in the chat? I know there's just a handful of us here, but do y'all really feel safe here? I'm just posing the question. Yeah, we the people. So I'm posing the question on the people in the chat. As Black females in this country, do you I'll make it easy for you. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel safe. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't feel safe in this country. Be honest. She let me know she is not just there, but there with the ability to voice concerns of the world. Yes, I agree. I don't agree with every... Look, there's no such thing as a perfect individual. However, in this context, yes, she's on point in this particular context, because we all know that Mr. You-Know-Who appoints who he thinks he can manipulate, or people that think just like him. And there's a lot of people out there that think just like him.
And frankly, my colleagues have been real nice to you today, and I applaud them, but I don't have the same demeanor because I know that multiple colleagues on this side of the aisle
That's
have
true,
faced
Faith.
death threats. In fact, somebody tried to kill one of my colleagues, and frankly, I don't know if this FBI or under your leadership, if those people would have been caught. I don't have any confidence in you. And if we start talking about the reasons that I lack confidence, we could start with you not just wanting to acknowledge some simple facts. Simple facts like the vast majority of the threats are coming from right-wing extremism. And I know my colleagues have tried to stress this, but I decided that I would maybe do it in a different way. Number one, I have a couple of UCs. Kim Buck, one of multiple Republicans receiving death threats for voting against Jim Jordan as House Speaker.
Without objection.
Another one, Republican lawmaker says she received death threats after voting against Jim Jordan in Speaker's race.
Without objection.
Ain't that something? These are people within Congress. People are getting death threats for voting a certain way. Now, I'm a big proponent for relying on the Lord to take care of us. Okay? But in all actuality, we still are human, and we still live in a society where we give Caesar that which is Caesar's and God that which is God's. And God will take care of us. However, we also have to take steps to protect ourselves. And that's the world we live in. We can't rely on people like the FBI, police, Congress, president, anybody else. That's true, Faith. But again, and I'm not giving them a pass on this, but this has been a methodically planned situation for decades. It didn't just start within the 1900s. This goes way, way back, and it's a slow turning wheel. And they've set things up. They've set things up in motion to break up the family, the Black family. And here we are. Here we are.
In addition, there was another one from another colleague who now is leaving Congress because they said that they were calling his wife anonymously and threatening her life to the extent that she ended up sleeping with a firearm.
Without objection.
Okay, so here's the deal. How are we supposed to have confidence when you're sitting up here telling the Senate yesterday that it will take you 14 years before you can get the FBI fully staffed to do their jobs? You're also now redirecting resources so that they can go and play ICE agents on the streets. You're getting rid of your most qualified people. And even when it came down to somebody that you consider to be a friend, you were posted up having some fancy dinner to the extent that you posted not only once erroneously, you posted twice erroneously as it relates to catching somebody. And then you want to go and say, let me take a victory lap. Because honestly, if it wasn't for parents deciding that they were going to turn in their child, it seems like y'all wouldn't have got there, even though he literally confessed online. So I'm confused about what it is that the FBI is doing, except for trying to put on a show for the apprentice or whatever you want to call him. The day after all of this took place, There was domestic terrorism that was taking place at HBCUs. They were targeted.
Now, that's one more layer to this issue. Targeting HBCUs. And we can't expect everybody to maintain the same mindset that us in the chat do. These are a lot of kids. They're not as spiritual as us. Do you feel that our children, grandchildren are safe with this guy? Absolutely, Jay Breezy. And see, that's Fonda. That's what our government has boiled down to. Gaslighting from both sides. So therefore, we do have to put our trust in God, but we still got to live in this mess. And we have to make ourselves aware of what's going on instead of walking around blindly, not paying attention to our surroundings. God will protect me, but you're going to step off the curb on a red light? I'm just saying.
Yet I didn't hear anything from the FBI about what was going on. And again, Black people kept saying, how did we end up in this? Because the numbers are so very clear that white supremacy is a problem. And honestly, I've not heard anything out of you today that makes me believe that you're going to do anything about the white supremacy problem. The one that is leading to children being killed, children being shot, as well as members of their community as they're worshiping in their churches.
The time of the gentlelady has expired. If the gentleman would like to respond to any of that.
Hear what he's got to say to this.
Well, I mean, I'll respond. Kash Patel, as I said when I introduced him, public defender, former prosecutor, top staffer on the House Intelligence Committee.
Okay, you know what? I'm not trying to hear his response. She didn't ask him the question. I don't like this dude anyway. I really don't. I really don't. He's just another problem. He's just another problem. So, but it is true. We need to be sober and vigilant. We have to use plain and common sense in how we move. And part of that is also being aware of what's going on. Fonda said, I treat my personal protection like my money. I don't leave home without it. That's right. What did Medea say? Beyond peace and understanding. Her peace. And it's sad that people feel like they have to do that, you know? It's really sad. Peace be still. That's right. So yeah, I'm going to move on to the next video. I told you I ain't going to hold y'all that long today. You know, sometimes the church don't always be open. The church be open, but the folks don't come. But that don't mean that, you know, the speaker or whomever is in charge, hey, it's still got to keep pushing. That's right, Jay Breezy. You just have to be careful who you share your energy with. Treat it sacred. That's so true. That is so true. Let me share this with you.
Director Patel, before you joined the FBI, you railed against it for covering up Jeffrey Epstein's human trafficking ring. Let me refresh your memory with this clip.
This is
has
interesting.
Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Y'all hear what he said? Because of who's on that list. Now, this is before he was appointed. This is when he was part of the Release the Files group. This before he got the job he's got now. He wanted all these answers too. He wanted all these answers. And it's right here. Here's the receipt. This is prior to him getting the job, being appointed. I believe it was, 200 days ago. Interesting.
So you finished that December 2023 interview with a challenge to the FBI and harsh words for Republicans in Congress for not getting the Epstein files out to the public. You can see this clip.
Boy pants, and let us know who the pedophiles are.
Put on your big boy pants and let us know who
Hello,
the pedophiles
Donna.
are, you said. You emphasized that the president and FBI director each had complete authority to release Epstein's client list. You said Epstein's black book is under the, quote, direct control of the director of the FBI. Look at this clip.
This is way off the topic, but who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
black book?
FBI.
You hear what he
But
said?
who? That is I mean, there's
that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
He said that's under direct control of the director of the FBI. What position does he now hold? He holds that position now. Very interesting. Now that you are director of the FBI, now what?
All right, so you were sworn in as director more than 200 days ago. Now the black book is under your direct control.
That's right.
So why haven't you released the names of Epstein's co-conspirators in the rape and sex trafficking of young women and girls?
The Rolodex, which is what everybody colloquially refers to as the Black Book, has been released.
Oh, no, you're talking about what the journalist got 5 years ago? No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what you were talking about there.
That's
the black
exactly
book
what I
under
was
the direct control of the FBI director.
We have released more material than anyone else before. The Biden administration, Obama administration had the exact opportunities to release this material, and they never did. And if you are selling the men and women of the FBI,
Why
we're
have
not
you
going after
changed your
child predators.
position?
Hang on, you said we're not going after child predators. 1,500 child predators arrested this year, 35%
Okay,
increase,
I'll reclaim my time.
4,700 child victims.
Okay, Faith, he is no longer acting director because now he is the official director. Acting and official is two different things. So he actually got that position over 200 days ago.
Chairman, I'm going to
Now.
reclaim my time if you could instruct the witness. Why have you changed your position? There you were saying it's under the direct control of the FBI director and all of it should be released. Why have you changed your
Everything
position?
that has been lawfully permitted to be released has been released. And as I told you,
Really?
the investigation was limited. And let me make something crystal clear. I never said Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic other people, other women, and they're not other victims. This is the investigation we were given from 2006, 7, and 8, and the search warrants from 2006, 7, and 8. That's what we're working with.
Well, wait, have you released all of the stuff that the FBI has seized from Epstein's house? The computers, the emails, the file cabinets, the documents? What about the financial records? Have you released all of that?
Everything the court has allowed us to
Which
release.
court are you talking about?
3 separate federal courts have come in and said.
We're
there are
talking about the
3
evidence you've got. It's got nothing to do with what those courts have.
Do you have any
We're talking
idea
about the
how the
evidence-
law works?
Wait.
Do you want me to break the law in a federal judge's order?
No, I want you to
satisfy
follow your own
curiosity?
word, Director Patel. You said up there it was under the direct control of the FBI director. He had the black
And
book.
everything I have direct control over, we have gone to court. You haven't.
Complete
You
your
went
sentence.
to court.
Everything you have direct
We-
control over, you
we
said.
have gone to court, and everything we have direct
Director
control
Patel,
over.
Bottom line is this. He's protecting his boss. I'm going to just say it like it is. His boss is on that list. His boss is getting sucked off on those videos. I'm going to say it. If people don't like what I said, then more power to them. But the truth be told, This man is protecting those billionaires, including his boss, that are in that evidence. And this is how it goes in this country. You got the money, you got the prestige, you got the power, you got all of those things. You will be protected especially at the highest level of president. Didn't that man say when he campaigned the first time, I could pow somebody on a New York street and get away with it? Why would he say that? He wasn't even president yet. Because he understands the power of money. And that's what this entire country is built on. A bunch of lies and a bunch of money. Point blank, period. And he ain't the only one. He just the most ignorant one. Absolutely, Faith. Who, this cat retreader? Maybe. I know he got a job he wasn't qualified to get. I know he got a job that he was not qualified to get.
Complete your
And
sentence.
can
You said
lawfully
everything.
release. We're
Gentlemen.
releasing.
He'd like to complete his answer.
You began the sentence, everything you have direct control over, and then you stopped that sentence. You've released everything that you have direct control over?
And I have direct control over and can lawfully release. If you're not familiar with the court orders, that's not my
Lawfully.
fault.
Oh, I'm
Go
perfectly,
look at them.
I'm
Go
perfectly
to
familiar
court.
with them. But how did we prosecute
right.
Ghislaine Maxwell?
Lies equal money.
She was prosecuted with the investigatory material that was collected from 2001 and 2005 because of the non-prosecution agreements and the court orders on the investigations and search warrants. We were not able to develop new information. And oh, by the way, Jeffrey Epstein was out for 12 years and the Obama and Biden administration did nothing to look at his work, his pedophile network. If you want to blame me, that's fine. But now you're blaming the men and women who conducted
No,
this
stop
great
that.
search.
I'm not blaming anybody other than you. You're not keeping your word. You said that you would release all of the materials
Has
under your
anyone
direct
released
control.
more information on Epstein than I have?
This is the part that killed. Jay Breezy, you're right. Marco Rubio is not qualified either. Trump cannot pick people who are qualified, only those that spit his rhetoric. Faith says none of them are qualified. That's why this whole thing is the way it is. They're just testing it out to see how much they do or can do to us. That's that. I mean, they've been doing that for decades, maybe centuries too. And once you get into a little position of power, then you backpedal. That's what this cat's doing. See, before he got into this thing, yeah, it's a business. Before he got into this thing, he was just a regular guy out there making demands on do this, do that, do this, do that. And now that you're in a position to do it, you're not doing it. And that's what this is about.
Has
Well,
anyone?
much
Did
more-
Comey, did Ray.
Much
Did
more.
they?
Excuse me. Much more has come out in the days since the American people in Congress have been demanding it. But it's coming out in dribs and drabs. Why don't you just release the entire file as you promised to
Absolutely,
do?
Faith.
I literally just told you there are multiple federal court orders. I'm not going to break the law to satisfy your curiosity. You didn't join us when we filed court to release the court orders. You could have. You have lawyers. You could have shown up. You didn't do that.
That's a tiny fraction of the material we're
That
talking
is
about.
not.
It is
How
a
do you-
tiny fraction.
How do you know that? Have you seen
No.
everything?
Time
It's
of the
all
gentleman.
misdirection.
How do you know
Time
that?
of the gentleman has expired.
Mr. Patel, does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
Oh, here we go. There's the question of the day. There's the question of the day. I don't care how unqualified, qualified, whatever. It's a simple question. Is he in the Epstein files? That's the question of the day. Very defensive. Very defensive, Jay Breezy. very defensive. Answer the question. It's a simple question. But oh, I'm sorry, your boss don't want you to do that. He don't want you to tell the truth. He don't want to reveal that he's nasty.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Oh,
Not a
I'm
complicated
sorry.
question.
Can you say that again? He's can you say that again? Get it together. Get your lies straight before you open your mouth. Let's hear it.
Question. Does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I didn't say it was a complicated question. I just didn't hear you, so my apologies.
No, you heard him.
We have released where President Trump's name's in the Epstein files and everybody else, and all credible information that we are legally allowed to release has been released.
All right, so let's go through that.
That's interesting.
You're referring to court orders that prohibit you from releasing grand jury testimony under Rule 6E. Is that what you're referring to when you say as the law allows?
That's a piece of it.
Really? What other
That's
evidence
a piece of it.
do those three court orders?
That's a piece of it. That's a piece of it. Tell it like it is. Just say what piece you're referring to and what you're not referring to. But they're not going to tell that part. They're not going to tell the side as to why they're not releasing this information. We ain't stupid. We know why. It's called the cover up. Any normal person that has any knowledge about any of this, you ain't even got to know about all of it, just some of it. Just know some of it to understand that he's on that list and he don't want nobody to know. And we all know, but he don't want us to see the proof. Absolutely, Faith. There's a whole bunch of them in that room. In that room. If you're going to be lawful, be lawful. Anybody else that was doing things they ain't got no business doing, they need to go too.
You cited prohibit from being released.
Information that was collected pursuant to those search warrants that were limited
Wrong.
in fashion.
Wrong. That's not what the court order says, and that's not under 6E.
And you're talking, and I said that's 6E, and I said there was others, and I'm answering that. There are sealed court order documents. There are protective orders.
They are unsealed as part of discovery given to Ghislaine Maxwell. They are no longer sealed.
That's just not true. We can argue about it all you want.
Okay, well, you agree that there are, so your testimony here is that the reason why you are not releasing all of the videos that you have acknowledged, there are so many, and that the FBI spent thousands of hours of reviewing, the photographs, all of the photographs that you have. You're saying that you're not releasing those because there's a court order requiring them to be sealed? Is that your testimony?
Never said that about the videos. On the totality of the videos, of the thousands of images that were seized pursuant to the search warrants executed at the time, the overwhelming majority of that video is pornographic material that was downloaded from the internet and child sexual abuse material.
So say that.
Well, as you should not release the victims. But if there are videos that relate to others who Epstein trafficked to, such as maybe Prince Andrew, or photographs, that you have total control to release.
Yes, and if it exists.
And so why haven't you released it?
Why are you supposing that that is a fact when in fact it is false?
You just said yes.
You said,
didn't he just say yes? It's not false. You have the videos. You got them getting a freak on, and you're saying that you're not going to release pornograph videos to the public. Okay, nobody asked you to reveal the act of what they're doing, but you can still identify them in videos like anything else you do, just like you did that young man on that roof. Absolutely, Faith. They got all kind of stuff going on in there. All kind of stuff. Have you ever heard of taking a still photo from a video? Blocking out someone's face? If you don't want to show the hi Holly, how you doing, sweetheart? If you don't want to show the faces of the victims, there's ways of blocking them out. There's ways of blocking out pieces of footage that might be revealing in terms of someone's genitalia. Nobody's asking you to pull pee dick pics out. Nobody's asking you to do all that. But you can reveal the identities of these people. But that's too much like right. So you want to wag the dog. Exactly.
You're saying that none of the videos relate to anything relevant to the Jeffrey Epstein trafficking ring?
Every single video that we have collected pursuant to the prior search warrants has been examined for the last 10 years. And every single video has been utilized for whatever prosecutions were able to be legally brought.
I'm not asking about prosecutions. I'm asking about why you aren't releasing the full Epstein files, including the names of people who were involved in the sex ring that you promised to do before you became FBI director.
I just told you I'm not going to release downloaded porn.
I'm not asking about that. Fine. I'm asking about all the other files.
What other videos? Tell me. Tell me.
That's what I'm asking.
Tell me.
You're saying there are no videos that would be relevant to anyone else involved in the Jeffrey Epstein sex ring.
Pursuant to Mr. Acosta's.
One thing he did say, that he has these videos with pornographic material on it. Now that much he revealed, and they know who's on those tapes, but they will not reveal the identities. Who are you protecting? This is a cut and dry situation. You can put all the legalese all you want in there. Fact of the matter is that you are protecting your boss and some of them other people in that room. Point blank, period. You're protecting people of power. You are protecting people of power. They got the dough to keep your mouth shut. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Your boss not only has the dough, he has the power to make you disappear if he wanted to.
Collection of information based on the search warrants. That's all we have in our possession.
And I'm asking you that stuff.
That's all we got.
I'm not asking all you got. I'm asking you in that stuff. There's nothing that's related to to any other sex traffic, any other people engaged with Epstein in underage sex.
That's correct. To my knowledge, no.
Okay. Let's talk about the witness interviews. 302s of witness interviews. Those are not subject to the court order. Those are not subject to any fictional sealed order for a search warrant. Why aren't you releasing those with the redacted names of the victims?
We are releasing as much as legally allowed. That's why we went back.
How is that not legally allowed?
Sir, do you know how court orders work? Do you know how protective orders
Now
work?
he's
I
being
was a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a fake one?
And I want to understand what the court order prevents you from releasing witness statements that the FBI took.
You should know that as a real prosecutor, when the court hand downs a protective order and a motion to seal, the material is sealed unless that
your
judge
testimony
waives
here
it.
is that all of those witness statements are under a court order, a protective order.
We are providing everything we can legally provide.
No, that's not my question. My question is, why are those witness statements that are not grand jury testimony, that if they were under a protective order are no longer under a protective order, why are they not being released?
How are they not under a protective
Why
order?
are you not going to the court like you did for the grand jury testimony to unseal those records?
The DOJ.
Now, he had the opportunity to unseal them if they're sealed. Why aren't you doing that? Why? because your boss won't let you. As a matter of fact, that's why your boss put you in this position, because you're not up for the job of FBI director. You've never worked for the FBI before. So now you stuck between a rock and a hard place. Point blank period. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Absolutely.
Jay did go to the court.
No, not on those records. Why aren't you going? You just went on
Ooh,
grand
Lord.
jury.
Time of the gentleman is expired. The
You are hiding the Epstein files,
time
Mr.
of the gentleman
Patel.
is expired.
You are part of the cover-up.
I've got 4 documents
Cover
I'd like
up.
to introduce into the record. The first one is Jeffrey Epstein's 6 story played out for years in plain sight. And Acosta is quoted in here saying, "I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone."
Now this dude here, Mr. Massey, I like Mr. Massey. Very, he's got his stuff together. But still, exactly, Camille. This fool now knows exactly what he's doing, and it's pissing all of us off. Hi, Serene. How are you, love? This is amazing. This whole demonstration. They're all this. They're screwed. Faith, they're screwed. They really are. They don't know what to do now. But this guy right here, before he took this position or was given this position, he was one of us that's asking the same questions. Now that you're in a position to do something about it, you won't.
Second document is entitled "What Epstein's Bodyguard Warned About His CIA Connections." The third document is from Fox Digital. It's titled "Epstein's Private Calendar Reveals Planned Meetings with Obama Admin Official CIA Chief." And the last document is Wall Street Journal article that highlights Ehud Barak's 36 meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who was the former prime minister of Israel and head of military intelligence for Israel. It may have held that title when he met Epstein, and then, yes.
Without objection, the gentleman will hold for a second. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one UC request. This is Judge Engelmeyer's decision from August in U.S. versus Epstein, stating the government's 100,000 pages of Epstein files dwarfs the 70-odd pages of Epstein grand jury materials.
Well, there, then down. Faith said, "This is why God made woman, the brain, and men with the muscle, because he knew that men would use the wrong head." Ooh-wee, that's a mouthful. Pardon the pun. Oh my God. I didn't mean to say it in that context, but oh well.
Without objection, the gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, I watched some of your Senate hearing yesterday when Senator Kennedy asked you, "You've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these women to besides himself?"
Direct control of the director of the FBI.
I hit the
All right,
wrong
so
button.
you were
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me go back to where I was. There we go. I think that's where I was.
Hearing yesterday when Senator Kennedy asked you, "You've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these women to besides himself?"
Okay, so Fonda, you said I'm lost and none of it makes sense to me anymore. That's the whole design. You basically just said exactly what their whole intent is. You basically verbalized exactly what they want us all to think. We get lost, none of it makes sense, and we don't pay attention, and they do what they want to do in broad daylight because it's so overwhelming. Information is so overwhelming when you've got this coming at you and this coming at you, and trying to decipher what's going on in all these different areas. And at some point in time, we just say, you know what? Screw it. I don't even get all this. Whatever happens. And we can't do that, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we can't afford to do that. Because this is what they want us to do. Yep. Move to the next situation. Okay, let me try not to touch the wrong button this time.
You replied, according to the transcript, there is no credible information that he trafficked them to anyone else. You also said somewhere in the hearing and here today that the problem is that the case files are constrained by limited search warrants from 2006 to 2007, and that the non-prosecution agreement hamstrung future investigations. Those constraints only apply to Southern District of Florida. They do not apply to Southern District of New York, the location of the 2019 sex trafficking indictment, which produced many things, including a series of FD 302 documents. According to victims who cooperated with the FBI in that investigation, these documents in FBI possession, your possession, detail at least 20 men, including Mr. Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays Bank, who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked victims to, victims including minors such as Virginia Roberts Ufree, may she rest in peace. That list also includes at least 19 other individuals, one Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million.
Now listen, that Hollywood producer, they even talked about one of the girls that was a victim there, and she ended up unaliving herself. This is how deep this goes. This is how deep this goes. And all of these people in this room have an impact over our lives to a certain degree. I know God is in control. I already know that. But we still need to be cognizant of what moves we need to make as well.
One royal prince, one high-profile individual in the music industry, one very prominent banker, one high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, at least 6 billionaires, including a billionaire from Canada. We know these people exist in the FBI files.
And a partridge in a pear tree. They can name what these different people do, but they can't put no name to it. Why is that? Because of the power that they have and the money that they have, the influence that they have. And they can't release them names. But you piss off the right person, I guess you'll be uncovered. I'm curious who Diddy pissed off. But I know one thing, his buddy certainly hasn't given him parole. I mean, not parole, a pardon. Now that part I know. And they was partying and slanging deep together. But we ain't gonna talk about that either.
Files that you control. I don't know exactly who they are, but the FBI does. Have you launched any investigations into any of these people, and have you seen these 302 documents?
Sir, I have asked my FBI agents to review the entirety of the Epstein files and bring forth any credible information. And we're working with Congress not only to divulge that information and produce it to you, but any investigations that arise from any credible investigation will be brought.
Has he reviewed them though? He said he went to his FBI agents and asked them to review and bring what they found to him. What's wrong with your eyes? You can't review it yourself? You're the director of the FBI. Why are you relying on others to bring you the information that you are clearly able to decipher yourself? Exactly, Fonda. What are they doing or not doing? Is this Democratic, Republican, black, white, men, women? It is good and evil is what it is.
Been no new materials brought to me launching a new indictment.
So is the loophole here, or is it your assertion that these victims aren't credible, that the 302s maybe didn't produce credible statements that rise to a probable cause?
It's not my assertion, sir. It's the assertion of two different United States attorneys' offices from three separate administrations who investigated those same materials in lifetime.
Are the 302 documents in the FBI's possession?
They reviewed all that. Yes, sir.
And so have you reviewed those 302 documents where the victims name the people who victimized them?
If I personally know, but the FBI has.
So how can you sit here and in front of the Senate and say there are no names?
Exactly, Don.
I named one today.
I said we are not in the practice at the Department of Justice FBI of releasing victims' names. That is not what we do. We are also not in the habit
don't
of
release their names.
Incredible information. That's not what we do. But multiple authorities have looked at the entirety of what we have.
Okay, I got to move on here. Were you present when the AG had the White House event when she released the binders to social media influencers?
I was, yes.
So if you're willing to meet with social media influencers who stood to benefit from the sensational and sad stories of these victims, will you meet with the victims as well?
The FBI will meet with anyone who has new information.
Will you personally meet with them?
The FBI and the professionals who are handling the cases will.
Were you instructed that it was important to release the documents to the Oversight Committee on the day of my introduction of the discharge petition to release these files?
I don't know what day that was, so no.
Well, they were released that day, and there were victims' names who weren't redacted because they were in such a rush.
You're absolutely right, babe. You know what? I've come to the conclusion that this man don't do nothing but sit there and be the face of the FBI and let everybody up under him run it. And until they bring something to his attention, he don't know nothing. He only knows what he's told. That's all. Trump knew exactly what he was doing when he put this cat in office. I'll just sit here and y'all bring me all this information if you see it's relevant. If you see it's relevant.
The victims are not happy about that. Have you investigated any of the CIA connections? Have you seen the CIA file on Jeffrey Epstein? And if you wanted to see it, would they show it to you?
Well, I can speak for the FBI, and that's presuming there's a CIA case file. And I've reviewed everything that the interagency, not I, the FBI, that was provided to us.
Would you be willing to look at the CIA file on Jeffrey Epstein?
If there is such a file, and if it has not already been turned over to the FBI will look at any new investigation.
There is a CIA file. If the man was affiliated with the CIA, clearly you know about it. Absolutely, Camille. He's trying to deny everything. Exactly, Faith. This is ridiculous. Point the finger elsewhere. You the head. You're accountable.
Director, the first time you saw Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files. Did you close the files or keep reading?
I have reviewed not the entirety of the files, so
you haven't reviewed all of the Epstein files?
Y'all gonna love this one.
You're the director of the FBI. This is the largest sex trafficking case the FBI has ever been a part of. Buck stops at the top, and your testimony today is you have not reviewed all the files.
What I've been doing is been busy providing the safest country this country has seen in modern U.S. history in historic speed, because the men and women of the FBI are given the resources to reduce the homicide rate, to reduce the drug trafficking rate, to reduce the amount of children that are being trafficked, and the number of
it sounds like those children being trafficked would appreciate the director reviewing the files. You said you don't know the number of times Trump's name appears in the files, so it could at least be 1,000 times. Is that right?
The number is a total misleading factor. We have not released anyone's name we have not released anyone's name in the Epstein files that has not been credible.
He ain't gonna answer the question. He's trying to act like he hasn't even read the whole file. Exactly, Don. I believe it is in his control, and I believe he's read it, but he's claiming he hasn't read it. And you can't tell me, I don't care who you are, you cannot tell me that you have a file sitting in front of you that is the most controversial topic in the nation about Epstein. This is the whole okie doke right here. And he was asked, have you looked at the entire file? And he said, no. In a nutshell, he said, no. You mean to tell me that your inner nosy didn't proceed to read? He's seen every last bit of it and claiming that he hasn't. Man, miss me with that lie.
We have released every piece of legally permissible information.
Okay,
you can
so-
characterize the numbers however you want it.
Claiming my time, Director.
If you haven't read it all, how can you say what is legal or illegal in that information? You just told on yourself. You have read it. Because here's the key. If you haven't read it all, how can you say what is illegal and what is legal to release? Unless you see it for your own self.
It sounds like if you don't know the number, it could at least be 1,000 times. Which
It's not.
leads me-
It's not.
Is it at least 500 times?
No.
Oh,
Is it at
you
least
know
100
that
times?
much
No.
though.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number, but it's not that.
Do you think it might be your job to know the number?
My job is to provide for the safety and security of this country. My job is not to engage in political
And that
innuendo
includes protecting
so you can
sexual
go out to the
assault victims.
sticks and get your 20-second hit in your fundraising
reclaiming my
article.
time,
Oh, he
Keep
getting
going,
mad
reclaiming your
now.
time because the
Director,
people of California
if
are being
Trump- if the
underserved by
president-
your
He getting mad now. Now you can see just how guilty he really is. Yes, he is hiding a lot. He's telling on himself. Every time he opens his mouth, he tells on himself. You know a heck of a lot more than what you're saying. You the director of the FBI. And you don't know certain answers. Because you have pretty much been either paid or somebody done threatened you. You better not say nothing.
The president
presentation.
is not implicated. Why not release everything that involves him?
We have released everything, the president and anyone else's side, that is credible and lawfully be able to be released. Your fixation on this matter and baseless accusations that I'm hiding
Also
child
Mr. Mass's
pedophiles is disgusting.
interest.
Anyone that says that needs to look at the stats alone and go back to the state of California, who's receiving the biggest surge in
So,
FBI resources through
Director,
my
We're not talking
redeployment
about
because the
California.
cities
We're
of
talking
Los
about
Angeles,
Epstein.
San Diego, and San
Reclaiming
Francisco
my time,
need it.
Director. Remembering your oath to tell the truth, did you ever tell Donald Trump his
Deflection.
name is in the files?
I have never spoken to President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's
Did you,
name
Answer
is
the
in
it's a
question.
simple question.
file.
Did you tell the Attorney General that the president's
Yes or
name is in
no?
the Epstein files?
During many conversations that
Yes
the
or
Attorney
no?
General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is
painstakingly
simple.
Who
Did you
can
tell
be-
the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes
if
or
you're gonna mock
no?
Now
me? Use
he's
the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No? A, B, C.
Rock and a
D, E, F.
hard place.
It
Don't wanna
sounds
do
like
it?
you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files?
Why don't you try serving your
Director,
constituency
Answer the
by
question.
focusing on
Attorney
reducing
General
violent
that Donald
crime in this
Trump's name-
country
Yes or no?
and the number of pedophiles that
Director,
are legally
Yes or no?
harbored in
Time,
your
Director.
sanctuary cities
Let's
in
gaslight.
California.
Reclaim
I'll
my
work with
time.
you on that.
Here goes
Regular
You
order,
gotta
Mr.
work with us
Chairman.
on that.
Director,
I
reclaim my
belongs to
time.
the gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
Question
Yes or no?
has been asked and answered.
You have
He's a
not answered it, and we will
smart-ass.
take your evasiveness
He ain't
as a
that smart.
consciousness of guilt.
That's
Director,
right.
Did Donald Trump ever say to you, just find and release the entire truth? Don't worry if I'm in it.
The instructions from the administration were to release all credible information, and we have done that.
Did Donald Trump ever provide information about Jeffrey Epstein as an informant?
Mm.
Donald Trump has not been, and I can only speak for the FBI, an informant of the FBI.
So, Director, you've played this cute shell game where you say you can't release everything because the court has said that it legally is not allowed to be released. But the court calls. Judge Richard Berman said that when you went to the court, quote, information contained in the Epstein grand jury transcripts pales in comparison to Epstein investigation information and materials in the hands of the Department of Justice. So let's move on, Director. You wrote a book called Government Gangsters. You identified 20 individuals in that book. You put me on that list at the top of the list. Thank you. My children find it flattering. 20 of those individuals have been investigated or have had adverse actions. Director, considering that you have identified these people as, quote, government gangsters, will you recuse yourself from making any investigation decisions about these individuals?
Anyone that has been terminated at the FBI has been done so
the
because
question
they failed
again,
to meet the muster in their
Director,
constitutional
I will
obligation.
work on the audio-visual capabilities.
I'm going to borrow your terminology and call on your entire career.
What a dick. I'm sorry. When people act like that, their back is against the wall. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place and ain't got nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. His lack of answering tells the tale. And you're targeting certain people in Congress that are really holding your feet to the fire. I mean, literally targeting people, this gentleman included.
I'm reclaiming my time,
It has been
Director.
a disgrace to the American
Director, I'm
people.
reclaiming my
You
time.
can reclaim your time all you want.
Mr. Chairman, you're going to allow a witness to speak this way?
Mr. Chairman, would you give
recuse yourself, Director?
The gentleman has no time.
Mr. Chairman, would you admonish the
witness not to insult members?
The gentleman has no time.
Mr. Chairman, just
committee will remember.
quick point of order.
The chairman allows
Could the
this.
gentleman be extended an additional 20 seconds to complete his thoughts since the witness decided to interrupt him
And
continuously?
then the witness will be able to respond if he wants. We'll make sure
Thank
he has
you.
time to do that.
My question
Yeah,
does,
go ahead, 'cause
will
you in
you,
on it
Director,
too.
recuse yourself, yes or no, from investigating or making decisions about the 60 individuals, including myself, that you identified as government gangsters? Yes.
He identified 60 people as government gangsters, but he ain't talking about the biggest gangster of all. The biggest gangster of all. Now let's look at this. You're talking about the mafia, okay? And you got Top Gun. Let's go into the Godfather, or not the Godfather, the Sopranos. Remember the Sopranos? Top dog of that family was who? Tony Soprano. He had his captains. He had his minions. He had different levels that did his dirty work. And sometimes he did his own dirty work. So that top dog would tell his captains, I need you to go after this person, this person, this person, this person. This is no different. This is just a mob boss sitting in the White House, throwing down jobs to do. And this cat's job is to keep my name out of it as much as possible. That's his job. That's his job.
Yes or no?
Time of the gentleman has expired. The
No.
witness may respond if he would like.
And the answer was no, as I heard.
Correct.
Thank you, Director Patel, for being here today. The FBI searched Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan residence, correct?
I believe that happened in 2018. I think there was 2 locations, sir.
It's 2019, and in that residence, the FBI found a safe, correct?
Huh.
I don't have the catalog of evidence in front of me.
Oh, you don't
In
have
that
it in
residence,
front
the
of you.
FBI found a safe, correct?
I'll accept your representation.
Okay.
Wow.
And in that safe, the FBI found topless and lewd photographs of girls, correct?
Again, sir, I'll accept your representation. I don't know.
See,
Thank
you
you.
can't
It
even
was
you can't
all
even
over the
own
media.
up. This man just said, and as FBI director, you would think that he would have this information, And I'm sure he does have it, but he's not going to acknowledge it. When they raided this man's house, they found a safe, and in that safe were pictures, incriminating pictures. And he wants to put it on this cat like, I'm not going to refer to Mr. Lewis, this cat, but he's pretty much in a sense saying, if you say so. That's what he's saying. If you say so.
The Times, a New York Times article that says Jeffrey Epstein is indicted on sex charges as discovery of nude photos is disclosed. Dated
Nude
July
photos.
8th, 2019. And the Times reports a trove of lewd photographs of girls was discovered in a safe inside financier Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan mansion. Author Michael Wolff has conducted numerous interviews of Jeffrey Epstein. I'm going to play for you a video clip of what Michael Wolff said Epstein told him was in the safe and what he showed the author was in this safe.
Let's see how he wiggle out of this one. Now we got some video footage he's about to show. Let's see how this cat wiggles out of this.
So let's please play that clip now.
Elected. I was sitting talking to Epstein, and he said, "Wait a minute, I got to show you something." And then he went into his safe, and he came out with photographs. They were Polaroids, I think, and he kind of spread them out like playing cards, and it was Trump. I mean, I think there were a dozen of them, and it was Trump with girls of an uncertain age at Epstein's Palm Beach house, where all of the things that he would ultimately be accused of took place. And I remember very vividly 3 of them. There are 2 in which Trump is, the girls, topless girls, are sitting on Trump's lap. And then a 3rd in which he has a stain on the front of his pants. And the girls are kind of pointing at it, sort of bent over, laughing.
Wow.
So Director Patel, I'm going to ask you a very broad and general question. As you know, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were friends. There are, of course, photos showing Donald Trump together with Epstein, correct?
I don't have the entirety of the photographs, but I think they've been photographed in public together.
All right. Are there any photos showing Donald Trump with girls of an uncertain age?
No.
How do you know that?
Because that information would have been brought to light by multiple administrations and FBI investigators over the course of the last 20 years.
Well, you know what? That's just not true, because no one knew about the creepy birthday message that Donald Trump wrote to Jeffrey Epstein until the Wall Street Journal disclosed it. And then all of a sudden, the Epstein estate provides it to Congress. So certainly, you weren't there at the search. You don't know what Epstein may or may not have done with those photographs even prior to the search. Maybe someone has it. Maybe the Epstein estate has it.
You raise a great point.
So I'm going to ask you, have you asked to talk to Michael Wolff?
You raise a great point. I haven't personally asked to talk to Michael
FBI
Wolff.
asked?
But the FBI, I'll get back to you if the FBI specifically
So Michael
asked
has
ever.
about 100 hours of testimony of Jeffrey Epstein. Wouldn't it be good for the FBI to interview Michael Wolff?
I'm not saying they haven't. I just don't know.
Why don't you know? You the head. Dude. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. You don't know. Because you don't want them to know that you know. So you playing dumb. Dumb diddy dumb. Exactly, Fonda. 2 sick people can't help each other. And he's sicko number 1. And this one is covering for him. Big time. Not a yes or no comes out of his mouth. Why? Because it's too incriminating on his boss.
Has FBI subpoenaed the tapes that Michael Wolff has conducted of Jeffrey Epstein?
I don't know.
All right. So if you could provide us an answer, that would be terrific.
Sure.
Well,
I
let me
don't
ask you this
know.
question then.
I don't know.
Have you looked at all the photos in Epstein files?
I have looked at all the information that the investigators who investigated this case have provided to run out credible leads.
And in the Epstein file, was there that creepy birthday message that Donald Trump had written to Epstein?
So that's what I was trying to tell you. You raise a great point. The estate of Jeffrey Epstein has a voluminous amount of information that they have not released before.
Okay, so that's great. So wouldn't it be great if FBI subpoenaed the estate of Jeffrey Epstein for all that information?
The estate is under no obligation to provide that material, even pursuant to a subpoena. That's a great point.
Yeah, that's just false.
Okay.
That's just false. You're the frickin' FBI. You can subpoena the information from this state, and you better do that.
That's literally not how it works.
I'm going to move on now and talk about Epstein's client list. You confirmed that exists. Attorney General Pam Bondi confirmed earlier this year that it exists. I just want to ask you a simple question. Is Prince Andrew on Epstein's client list?
The material related to Prince Andrew has been made public.
Is Prince Andrew on the client list?
We have released the index of names in Jeffrey Epstein.
Is Donald Trump on Epstein's client list?
The index has been released, and the index will speak for
So
itself.
I'm just going to say, America is a huge red flag. The FBI director could not answer whether Donald Trump was on Epstein's
Gentleman's time
client
has
list.
expired.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Patel, before you joined the FBI, you
Okay,
had very
here's
strong
my
opinions
girl,
about what the FBI was
Jayapal.
hiding regarding
Hold up,
Jeffrey
y'all.
Epstein.
Jayapal is no joke. Let me tell you, my girl Jayapal is no joke. She from here. She from right here. I sat on a panel with her about 3 years ago with regard to child care. She is no joke. And she attends my church at times when she's in town. I love her. I love her. I don't know her personally, but I have met her on a few occasions. We don't kick it or nothing like that. So y'all don't take that to mean that, I'm claiming something, But and Faith, yes, I'm sure Bill Clinton and Hillary is on that list. You follow me? There's a whole lot of folk on that list. When we talking about politics, it's a who's who of nuts.
In a September 2023 interview with Glenn Beck, you said the Black Book is under the, quote, direct control of the director of the FBI. In December 2023, you said, let us know who the pedophiles are. Even for a short time after becoming FBI director, in February of 2025, you tweeted, quote, there will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, no stone left unturned.
That's what
in
he
June,
said.
you told Joe Rogan, quote, we've reviewed all the information. We're going to give you every single thing we have and can. But then suddenly in July, everything changed. You and Attorney General Pam Bondi released one video and said that there was nothing more to see. Your July memo says you uncovered more than 300 gigabytes of data and physical evidence, but that you had decided no further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted. That
Jay Breezy, so you know what I'm talking about. Homegirl is no joke. No joke at all.
is a quote. I think what happened, Mr. Patel, is that suddenly you discovered that Donald Trump's name was all over these files, and you started a giant cover-up. So you are under oath, Mr. Patel. You just testified to Mr. Swalwell that you did not speak to the president about the Epstein files. To your knowledge, did Attorney General Pam Bondi speak to the president about what was in the Epstein files?
I can't speak for Attorney General Pam Bondi.
So to your knowledge, you don't have any information. The question was, do you have any knowledge? Do you have any knowledge?
I can't speak.
You are refusing to answer the question. So let me tell you that the Wall Street Journal reported that in May, Bondi told Trump that he was in the Epstein files, and at the same meeting said that the DOJ did not plan to release the files. Yesterday, you testified to Senator Kennedy that there was, quote, no credible information that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone else, and that you have, quote, continuously and publicly asked the public to come forward with more information, and we'll look into it. Today, in response to Mr. Massey's question, you appeared to say that the survivors were not credible. These are survivors.
That's not at all what I said.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask you this in a second, but let me tell you about the
don't lie about
survivors, and let's bring them up here into the room. These are women who came to the Hill and testified that they were groomed and raped at the age of 14 and 16 years old, and they called to meet with the president and to meet with the FBI and to have people investigate their claims. Some of them have never testified before. If you are so interested in getting the public to submit any information, why have you not met with them? You said you haven't met with them. Have you met with them? I'll give you one more chance.
Have you met with them?
My job as the FBI director
That's
is to
is the
all
answer,
yes or no?
investigative
That would be a no. That would be a no. Hello, Cora. Boy, I tell you, he just told on himself. Boy, I tell you the truth, he just told on himself. Say yes or no, boo-boo. Because you was talking all that head before you got that position. And now you got the position, and now you one of them. Be careful what you ask for.
So whether or not you met with these women who were sexually abused and raped.
Any insinuation by you or any
What
people
is
on
the
your
answer?
side that I am not manhunting child predators and sex traffickers,
Them
just look at
child
your
predators.
stats. And you talk
Mr.
about
Chairman,
cover-ups, man.
Mr. Chairman,
You
this
talk
is
about
my time,
cover-ups.
and I will take
Why
as much time as I
Where were
want.
you during the
Instruct the
Obama and
witness,
Biden
Mr.
administrations
Chairman.
when these so-called
See, this is where the deflection comes in. She's specifically talking about the victims of Epstein. Specifically, he want to throw it all over to the other ones. Nothing ever happens, but we got to make something happen. We can't blame it all on them, because this country, we all sitting back watching and ain't doing nothing about it. And then somebody else will come out and do something that they shouldn't do, and then we start talking about that. This country is full of cover-ups. Cover-up after cover-up after cover-up. And we the people, we got more power than them. When are we going to start doing something? When are we going to start doing something? We sitting back here watching this fiasco. That's all I'm saying. We let this jackass back in the office. Yeah, they do incite fear. But at some point in time, we're going to have to put on our big boy and big girl drawers and do something in attack against what they're doing.
cover-ups were going on.
Mr.
Why did
Chairman.
anyone in those administrations talk to any of these
Mr.
purported
Chairman.
witnesses?
Let's
I have
get some regular
welcomed
order, Mr.
every
Chairman.
single person to provide credible information.
Time belongs to the gentlelady from Washington.
And I'm
When
gonna
you-
take
When
another
you
couple
accuse
of
the
minutes.
witness of something, he's allowed to respond. That's how it works. You say
Listen,
something,
he didn't even, excuse me,
Mr.
Mr.
Chairman,
Chairman, you have
point
always
of
been
order.
fair, but this is
I'm
not
being
fair.
and you will get
No,
your,
this
you will
is
get your
my time, and he
You will give the
said
gentlelady
that the
a few
witnesses
additional
were not credible.
seconds of time.
I'm going to get an additional minute of time because
No,
that's
you'll
how
get
much time
you
he
won't get a
took.
minute. You'll get some seconds. What we think is under 5 minutes. You don't get to demand how
Mr.
much time you
Patel.
get. That's not how it works.
Mr. Patel, are the victims of the Jeffrey Epstein horrific trafficking ring, are they credible?
Any person with information about ongoing
I
sexual
didn't.
trafficking.
I'm asking you if they're credible.
Ma'am, I'm
Or
commenting
no.
on the evidence we have.
But
And we have routinely asked for people to come forward with more evidence, and we will look at it. And the evidence that we have was the same evidence that the Biden and
Patel.
Obama Justice Departments
Mr.
had.
Patel,
And they
this is
determined, not
new.
me, they determined
Mr.
that
Chairman,
information was not
Mr.
credible.
Chairman, he's not letting me even ask my questions.
You
This is
ask the
ridiculous.
questions, he gives an answer. You may not like what he says,
No,
but that
I'm
doesn't mean you get to
he's not
interrupt him.
answering my question.
Mr.
You
Chairman,
have
could we
an-
restore the
We
gentlelady
see who's
45
biased.
seconds so she
We
can
We'll
see
give her
who's
additional
biased.
30 seconds, which is what I said
I'm going
earlier.
to keep taking
chair.
my time
No,
because
you'll take
here's
the
the
time
thing.
that you get.
You
have
are
30
not
seconds.
answering the question. The question
I
is,
have, you just
is
don't like the
these
answer.
women, are these women credible? It's a yes or no answer.
I have answered the question.
Well,
and I
what is
keep
the
telling
answer?
you, I'm the only FBI director that has welcomed new information in this case. This
You're
administration is the only one that has welcomed any new information in this
Is there
case.
a yes or no to
Present
whether the
new
victims
credible
are
information.
credible?
Present new
Are
information.
the victims credible
victims-
or not?
I'll tell you what happened in the last Trump
Are they
administration.
credible or not? You can't even
Victims
say.
credibly came forward. And you know what happened? President Trump authorized the indictments
President
of Jeffrey
Trump
Epstein.
called-
And then, okay, I'm going to just say allegedly. If they came in and he seen them, he knew he didn't slept with half of them. That's what happened. This joker's full of shit.
Not
them a
Biden,
hoax.
not Obama.
President Trump
No one
called
else.
the entire thing a Democratic hoax.
A
So
hoax.
I would like to ask
The
you
gentlelady's
if
time has
you
expired.
will
I gave her
meet-
the additional
if
45
you-
seconds she
if you
requested.
will
The
meet-
gentlelady yields back. The gentleman from
Mr.
New
Chairman,
Jersey is
I would like
recognized
to
for his
ask if
5
you would
minutes.
meet
When a
with
lie
the
is a
women
lie.
who were sexually
Time does not belong.
abused and raped and
Time
groomed
does
at
not
the
belong
ages
to the
of
gentlelady from
14
Washington.
and
The time now
16
belongs-
years old. Are
How would dude up there, what's the cat up there? What's his name? I can't stand him. But what if that was his daughter? What would happen if that was his daughter? Exactly, Fonda. We don't know who to vote for. We don't know who to vote for because, in my opinion, there's snakes in both parties. There's snakes in both parties. But if this joker right here, this dude right here, I wonder how he would feel if those were some of his girls. What would he be saying right about now? He probably wouldn't have a job. That's what would probably be the case. Narcissistic people, absolutely.
you
I'm-
going to cover up?
No, I'm
Are
not
you
gonna-
going to
I'm
continue
gonna
to
recognize
cover
the
up
gentleman
for
from
the
New Jersey
rich
for
and
his 5
powerful
minutes.
men, including those that might be on this committee?
I can yell
There's
at
your
you,
head.
Chairman, but I don't want to
There's
yell
your
above
head.
this.
Said it.
To
Time
testify.
belongs to the
Said-
gentleman from New
Ooh wee. Humana, 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 humana. Did you hear? Did y'all hear that? Let me back that up. Let me back that thing up. That's why she's my girl. She don't bite her tongue. She don't bite her tongue. Let me see. Did I go far back enough?
So I would like to ask
The
you
gentlelady's
if
time has
you
expired.
will
I gave her
meet-
the additional
if
45
you-
seconds she
if you
requested.
will
The
meet-
gentlelady yields back. The gentleman from
Mr.
New
Chairman,
Jersey is
I would like
recognized
to
for his
ask if
5
you would
minutes.
meet with the women who were sexually
Time does not
abused
belong.
and raped and groomed
Time does
at
not
the
belong
ages
to the
of
gentlelady from
14
Washington.
and
The time now
16
belongs-
years old. Are you
Time-
going to cover up?
No, I'm
Are
not
you
gonna-
going to
I'm
continue
gonna
to
recognize
cover
the
up
gentleman
for
from
the
New Jersey
rich
for
and
his 5 minutes.
powerful men, including those that might be on this committee?
I can yell
Or
too,
are
Mr.
you
Chairman,
going
but I don't want to yell
allow
above
them
this.
to
The time
testify?
belongs.
Including those that might be on this committee. Call them out, girl. Call them out. Go in, sweetheart. Go in. 'Cause she just called out a whole bunch of people that's sitting in that room.
Belongs to the gentleman from New Jersey. I
Are you
appreciate
going
the
to allow
gentlelady
them to
yielding back.
testify, Mr. Patel?
Go ahead.
Will
Mr.
you
D'Angelo.
allow them to testify to you, Mr. Patel?
Mr. Patel, thank you for being here.
He don't want to hear
I want to
from
take your
him.
attention back a second, okay? Breaking news. Kash Patel is nominated to be the FBI director. Dan Bongino is nominated to be the number 2 at the FBI. MAGA celebrates, rejoices, bells are ringing out. The team, Patel, Bongino, that sought out every podcast microphone to talk about the Epstein list. The names are finally going to get released. It begins. They produce white binders. Phase 1 with the podcasters. This is not actually one of them, of course. I made this up. Your name's on it, right? And the names are going to come out. Pam Bondi says the list is on her desk. Then a memo comes out all of a sudden and says, there's no list. Oh, no. No phase 2. Phase 2 binders never happen.
Huh.
You said the conspiracy theories around Epstein just aren't true. They never have been. And yesterday, in an answer to Senator Kennedy, you said the FBI is not in possession of any credible evidence that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone but himself. So according to your testimony yesterday and in this committee, according to the evidence the FBI has, the number of names on the list are zero. Zero.
The index has been released, and the number of people involved in that trafficking operation were charged in 2008.
Other than Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, your testimony in the Senate and here is that according to the evidence you have, the number of other names is zero.
That were charged based on credible evidence.
Well, who are the other names? Give me the other names that weren't charged.
We are not releasing the names of anyone because the Department of Justice never does that of anyone that didn't have any credible information to attack them.
Let me move.
Why do they need to have credible information if they're possibly guilty as those that were already convicted? Exactly, Serene. Look how we as women have to be in our bloody masculine energy to get our point across. Never fails to amaze me. Exactly. Exactly. And this is what it all boils down to. A whole bunch of talk and no results. Let me talk around the questions. Let me talk around the lie. Let me not say no names. In order to have a trafficking ring, you have to have customers. Thank you, Fonda. They keep going around the mountain. When is somebody going to climb to get to the other side? It's amazing to me.
Forward. The president has, you've seen the picture of the woman's body with the writing and the president's signature. The president says that's not his. Okay? President says it's not his. The Republican colleagues say it's not his. The administration say it's not his. Will you be opening up an investigation into the Epstein estate for putting out a fake document with the president's signature linking him to the world's largest pedophile ring? Will you be opening that investigation into that?
On what basis?
On what basis? They literally put out a fake document, according to the president, with a fake signature. It's a forgery of the president of the United States signature. That's the basis.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, I look forward to that investigation.
We will see. We will see. That was sweet. That was sweet. Oh, well, y'all. I would go off into, well, I could show you one more. This is dang his name. Hold on a minute. I'm sorry. My mind is drawing a blank. Hold on. I'm going to share one more with you because Kash didn't have a very good day. Let me just put it like that. But it's good that oh, thank you, Serene. Please do and share it as well. Share it. Hold on, let me put this up on the stage. Jeffries. I always forget his name. I call him light skin. No, I don't either, Jay Breezy. He's a puppet. He's a straight up puppet.
And it really makes me wonder who you're looking out for.
Who are you looking out for?
We can't trust you as a nation. You swear to release the Epstein files, but now you're withholding the Epstein files. You claim that you have a suspect in a serious assassination. Whoops, then you don't have a suspect. You know nothing about plans to remove FBI agents, yet you're directly involved in those plans. In the words of an ex-FBI official, you are overseeing, and I quote, generational destruction of the nation's premier law enforcement agency. Mr. Patel, in just 8 months, you have assaulted the institutional integrity of the FBI. But I know FBI field agents. I've worked with them in Newark. No matter how truly bad you are, you can't undermine the
Thank you
legacy
so
of
much,
agencies
Jay
that fight every day
Breezy.
to keep us safe, but you can tarnish the integrity of the agency and undermine the agency's capacity. I believe you're failing as a leader, and that your failure does have serious implications for the safety and security of Americans and our families.
It sure does.
We're more vulnerable to domestic and foreign attack because of your failures of leadership. I don't think you're fit to hand the bureau, but here's the thing, Mr. Patel. I think you're not going to be around long.
Ooh.
I think this might be your last oversight hearing.
Ooh.
Because as much as you supplicate yourself to the will of Donald Trump and not the Constitution of the United States of America, Donald Trump has shown us in his first term and in this term, he is not loyal to people like you. He will cut you loose.
Oh, yes, he will.
This may be the last time I have a hearing with you because I don't think you're long for your job. But I'm going to tell you this. I pray for you.
Pray hard. Pray hard.
That you can step up and defend your oath, defend the Constitution, and do a much better job of defending this country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All righty then. Well, that was
Yes, sir.
That was short and sweet. That was short and real sweet. Now, what y'all got to say about that? It's crazy. It never ceases to amaze me how they play it all out in our face and we just ride with it. They're more loyal to a job than people. And that's unfortunate, but it doesn't surprise me. Because again, we talking about a country that was stolen from others. Yep, Trump gonna come for Booker if he can remember. You know, he got dimensions. I'm sorry. That man is losing. He's going crispy cuckoo daily. Now, he might remember to go after Booker. He might. But don't be surprised, like what Booker said. Old boy sitting up there talking in circles. Trump gonna cut him loose like a hot potato. Because now the fire is on him. This dude, he said, this is probably gonna be your last hearing. He's been here long enough than that cat. He know how it works. He's been under 2 different administrations. He's been in 2 Trump administrations. He knows how this cat operates. Absolutely, Faith. This country was built on theft. Somebody came in and stole it. And then they stole other people from another country to come and build it for them. There's been the systemic wheel turning from the giddy up, from the foundation of this nation. We're supposed to put our hands over our heart and pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to God. I'm sorry. Now, I live here in America. That don't mean I got to agree with everything that they do or don't do for that matter. So, with all that said, it was good to come and see y'all today. Absolutely, Faith. Absolutely. But it was good to be able to come and sit with you on a Saturday. I know it wasn't as many people in the room as normal, but I'm still glad to have the family that I have here with me. And I appreciate you that took time out to come kick it with me. So with that said, I might even come back tomorrow. Who knows? But I don't know. I probably will because my husband's going to be out all day tomorrow. And where he's got to go, I don't want to be. If you know what I'm saying. So, again, thank you guys so much. And I will try to come back tomorrow. Hey, Mr. Phillips. Oh, you just got online. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just about to wrap up, but please go check the replay, sweetheart. Hi, Dee Dee. How's it going, my love? Thank you, Q Rock. Faith says they call us Indians, Cherokee, Blackfoot, etc. We need to know our real American history. That's the problem. Oh, you missed the show, Mr. Phillips. Well, sweetheart, please go back and check the replay. I think it'll be very interesting to you. Yes. All right, sweetheart. Well, I love you guys. I love all you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Set your notifications. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm coming back tomorrow and kick it with my family, with my kinfolk. Okay? Y'all take it easy. God bless you. Bye-bye, loves.
Hey, Mickey.
It don't cost you nothing.